Yes, sir.
All right, let's call this Parks Board meeting of November 17th, 2025 to order. Can we get roll call, please?
Brandon Williams.
Here.
Megan Brewer.
Here.
Catherine Witzman.
Here.
Christina Engelhardt.
Here.
Pat Caparell.
Here.
Brian Burney.
Here.
All right. September meeting minutes. Any adjustments or corrections? Take a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion second?
A second.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Minutes are passed. Going on to event summaries. Stan, you got this?
Yep, I got it. We had our final Cars and Coffee, and that was at that Cars and Coffee. We took out the leader car, which was kind of neat. Put it in the center, blocked that off, and people, lots of questions, lots of people coming up and checking it out. So that was kind of neat to have out there. But that was our final one. Probably about the same attendance as most, I think. And maybe,
A tiny bit less.
but I mean,
We're still capping at like 250, 275 though.
but lots of cars, and actually at that same one, I think there was I'll have to double check. There may have been some drone footage that somebody took of that one. I don't remember.
I don't know if it was
I don't
the
know.
last one.
But yeah. So I mean, overall, great event. I mean, ran really well, and lots of participation. So. Market in McCordsville, I've got the program report for that, and I just did an overall program report for that. And so we capped that at 67 vendors per, just because of space there. The expense report on it, and we sold out every one. We had 4. I think we had 67 registered for each one. And the expense report on that is we actually came out with a plus on that. These were some refunds and banners and stuff like that. But we brought in $5,600 and then came out on the plus side on that. Almost $4,000 on that program made. That doesn't include man hours and everything else,
Right.
but that's kind of built in for us to do because it's our program. So. Trunk or Treat is the other one. That program report is a little bit more lengthy. If you, I don't know, was anybody able to attend that? It was slammed. Yeah, Megan was there volunteering. I think it's on here as a you were a volunteer. I think 3 volunteers, Megan and Jackie.
We got there 20 minutes early and it was already forming. Fine. We left and I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Beautiful.
There was a lot. Beautiful day.
It was such a nice day. Yeah.
I would say, honestly, I feel like it was a little bit bigger than last year. Not a lot. It's hard to tell
The
because
cars
there's
were
so many.
parked like pretty far down 600.
So, well, and we're trying to avoid that. That was one of the things I met with Outlook after, which is what a lot of these comments and stuff are at the bottom. So I met with Outlook a couple weeks after, just kind of go over some things that they would like. One of which was just a certificate of liability insurance since we host it there. We ask the same thing for people whenever they host stuff here sometimes. So it's not too hard to get for us, but putting more cones out because we did block off the kind of front of there on 600. People didn't park there, but they parked farther down. And at the entrances, they parked a little bit too. Outlook agreed to just take over parking though next year, so that saves us a little bit of a
Would they let them park
headache.
in the grass?
In the back
Yeah.
is where we parked in the grass, so we just need to have a little bit more order to it. But all in all, really good event. I mean, I talked to Nikki about it earlier. When you have something that large, if you have just these minuscule things that kind of got brought up, I mean, to me, that's a successful event.
Yeah.
So we went through 670 hot dogs in about probably about an hour or so, right around there. 600 chips, same thing. We ran out of those because we had less chips, but really, like I said, really successful event. So, and that's it for the event summaries. Do you want me to just roll on into upcoming events?
Yeah, go for it.
So upcoming events, we have our Christmas tree lighting celebration. That was on December 5th. If you've been to McCord Square, they've already started putting up the tree. It is, I'd say, 90% complete. They've got the last part at the top to put together, and I think they're holding off doing that until they get the topper piece. So once they have that, then they can install it. Did they put it up
The
today?
topper's not on, but the tree's done.
Oh, they finished that? Okay, so
Yeah.
the only thing left is just the top piece to go on that, and they will fluff it out. If you've looked, it looks a little flat. I don't know if they've fluffed it yet, so. But once they do that, then it'll look a lot nicer. But so that tree's up. They'll be doing a remainder of the lighting and stuff kind of here and at McCord Square and at Old School Park here sometime before Thanksgiving. So, but
Do we need volunteers for that?
let's see, do we need volunteers for that?
It wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt for at least the Santa pictures because that line for the Santa pictures will be pretty busy. So Santa pictures will be done inside of the McCord Square Apartments building right near their leasing office. We will have a train that we're going to have. We're going to have that run along the path there at McCord Square Park.
We may need a volunteer to help with that
Yeah,
line.
it might help with that too. The elementary school choir, the middle school band will be performing again. And then we have some photo ops with some inflatable snow globes and things like that. So,
And MVHS just asked me if the cheerleaders could come, so we are adding them too.
so yeah, should be a really fun event. Last year we did it here, if you can remember, but with the new tree, we've moved this event to McCord Square, and we're hoping that first year there we'll evaluate things we need to change, if there's things we need to change after this first event there. So.
Just make sure we make it really clear it's at McCord Square, so a bunch of people show up here.
Yeah.
So, but any questions on, I guess, any of the events that we've had or the upcoming?
I don't think so.
No.
Old business?
Old business, Old School Park update. The bathrooms have been winterized finally. We hired that out this year just to make sure that it gets done right, but the guys were trying to watch and see what to do there, but I wanted to make sure that it got done right this year. I didn't want to have any breaks in lines or anything like that for this year. But so the bathrooms have been winterized. The pickleball nets have been taken down. We've left the tennis net up just because the weather's been okay. We'll take that down once we see kind of weather turn for the worse for good, we think, and we'll take that net down as well for the winter. The playground itself, really uneventful. I mean, it's been busy still, even with the bathrooms closed. But unfortunately, we have to close the bathrooms just 'cause of weather.
Yeah.
We just don't know when it's going to happen. So, but we had the panel in the free little library came out. The guys fixed it once, and then it came out again. They were fixing it today. Hopefully they get it right this time to kind of fix, but it's just the plexiglass keeps falling out of the door. So, but hopefully they get that right and fixed correctly. But other than that, how Old School Park's rolling right along. So,
When's that tubey thing that's been gonna get replaced?
so that was supposed to come in 3 months and it was delayed. It won't be until like January. So I don't know if they're going to try to replace it in January whenever it comes in, or if they're going to, wait for weather to turn a little bit there. But it was pushed back. The delivery of it from Compan, not from the construction site, was delayed to January. So, but other than that, I think we had one piece screw came loose. I fixed it, put some Loctite on it. There's one spot in the surfacing that's separated a little bit, but I talked to somebody at conference last week about that, so we'll probably look at any of those areas kind of in the spring if they can make those repairs on that surfacing. So
Yeah. Makes sense to get through the winter and see what.
right now there's only one spot that had, and it just separated a little bit to where the circles kind of met. It's almost like they just didn't mend it well together, and it separated just a little bit. So, right by the swings. So,
So, community center update.
Community center update. The inside is moving along. Tim went over today. They've got a lot of this stuff in the kitchen already. Starting to put the ladders up around the lights. There's a ton of lights in the big room, and a ton of lights. It seems like an absurd amount. They've started putting display cases in. Really, the inside is approaching finish, I think.
Yeah, they're gonna start it on the concrete. They have to grind it down and finish it because most of the flooring is concrete, just polished concrete. And then when they get that all cleaned up, they're still painting black in the big room up top once they get everything in, and then they'll put the carpet in, and the inside will be pretty close to done.
The outside, I don't know if we had kind of gone over that in the last meeting or not. There was a hiccup per se, and
They were putting in the storm. Yeah, they were putting in the storm water. Our inspector Mike Cousins went out there, realized they were using the wrong type of pipe, which was a problem, and so we stopped work on it, unfortunately. And a lot of stuff happened in between. A lot of timelines. Who screwed up? Negotiation. We concluded we're paying for the pipe difference because it was spec'd wrong. They're paying for all the labor and mistake portion, so we kind of split the difference. And we're still within our guaranteed maximum price because we're under on the project. And we're waiting on the pipe to come in. As soon as the pipe comes in, they'll go as fast as they can, but we're just running out of days. So we fully anticipate a delay in the opening of the community center. We'll still be able to get Stan and the staff in there, so we'll be able to have several months of them just learning to operate the building, learn what all the weird noises are and how to use all the kitchen equipment and all that fun stuff. But we were going to hopefully start renting out end of February just because we wanted to get in there and kind of comfortable anyways, and it'll probably be more like April. So
600 properties update.
This is you.
So we went through the entire process and came. The RDC made offers. We countered. We have come to terms with the homestead. I don't remember what our original. Well, I got it right in front of me. So we had offered them 230. There was a lot in the appraisals that didn't make some sense. So we've come to terms at 375, which is not a horrible swing, especially when considering 1.7 acres on 600 with a homestead. That's a good luck finding that for 375. Right. So I have Beth Copeland drafted the purchase agreement. I've sent it to them. We have all the approvals. They were on vacation last week, so I haven't gotten the signed purchase agreement back, but they want to close by the end of the year. We did run into a little glitch where on the survey there was a deed discrepancy, and so there's like this little strip of land on the north side that is owned by them. We've included that in. We're not going through the whole process with appraisals and everything for this tiny little deed strip. So there's a little bit more land in there, and it'll actually close on 2 properties. Had to do with Hampton Walk and just surveys that didn't match up, and so they ended up with this little parcel. So everything's in process there. We're excited about that project, and we'll get to closing by the end of the year. The redevelopment commission balked on the round barn, and a lot of discussion on that. We had offered them $437,500, which is the average of 2 appraisals. He was in the 8s. We got down to $690. I felt we at least had a shot at that one. I was overpaying, but it was, in the grand scheme of it, not the craziest. And it just, we also did we did the phase 1, we did the structural report, we did everything we needed to do. There were some things in the structural report, not crazy, but things that for commercial use we were going to have to tighten up. But it wasn't unexpected. Like, I wouldn't say anything was. It was what we talked about. It's a long-term project. It's going to take a lot of money, long run. But they just felt that we were just off a little too much. I think it's a unique buyer. So they have offered a counter offer of 500,000, which is the higher of the two appraisals. He actually called me today because I haven't sent them because I wanted to have this meeting first. So he's talking to his wife and talking to some brokers to see what he wants to do. There's a good shot it comes back to us at some point, and we're hopeful that it does. We just didn't want to overpay right out of the box, knowing how much we're going to have to invest in the long term. And so that's where we're at. Ultimately, it is the park's purchase.
So he's offering to sell at 500, or we offer?
We offered to buy it at 500. He is not there.
I see, he's still at like 690 or something.
He was at 690. We rejected that negotiation, and then we had said the highest the RDC said they're willing to go, because we know we have we have several other properties that are in negotiation. I should say negotiation, in talks right now through developments. We have about $3 million sitting in the park impact fee fund. So we have money, but we also have multiple needs that we're going to have to do. So the RDC was just really nervous about overpaying too much, knowing there's other properties that might come up. I understand that. I would say it was the split vote. I think a couple of them said, I'd rather own it and worry about it in the future. And but that's what they countered with. So we have offered him $500,000 for the property. He has not accepted that.
Do we know what they've put into it in the last, say, decade?
He would be happy to tell us.
Did they do anything to improve it?
Yeah, but it's stuff that wouldn't be that beneficial. I mean, he's stabilized the barns and he's done some different things to the structure. A lot of the investment was like putting in a new kitchen and things like that doesn't really help the park department.
There's an inspection report with
Mhm.
the sale, and then you ask for either cash off the selling price or for them to do that. And that's
He
the rub.
wasn't going to budge.
Really?
He started $1 million, then he talked to his.
You know what they
He-
paid for that?
Yeah, I do. That's part of the
Yeah,
problem.
what they paid, like 108 or something?
Yeah, it was a tax sale purchase, but
No,
and he has
that's
invested in
foreclosure.
it. But I frankly believe that at $500,000, he's still walking away with a good chunk of money and should
Does
be
anybody
happy.
talk to Indoor?
No.
Well, they don't release their liens. And there were a bunch of Indiana Department of Revenue liens on it, and they just sit there and wait until somebody at Deep Pockets buys it, and then they come out of the woodwork. Those don't go away with a foreclosure. It's not automatic. They're
Mhm.
probably still out there. Somebody needs to call Indoor and make sure that there's no liens on that property from them.
Yeah.
And
Well-
they don't list them publicly where you can find them.
We can do that. Frankly, for my sanity, I'm happy buying the north property for now and managing that one. I think it's going to be a lot to buy it off, but I'm going to get him the counter, and I haven't done that. I wanted to talk to the Parks Board first and get to closing on the other one. By us buying the northern property too, because there was a lot of debate about do you buy one over the other, it actually benefits us because there's not a lot you can do with. I mean, again, it's a very unique buyer for the southern part of that property. So we'll see where that goes. He has purchased property in Illinois and is working to move over there. So we'll see. So he's been very, and I will say, like both people have been very helpful, accommodating to all our requests to come in and do studies and look at the property and do all the reports. And so they weren't unreasonable. We just have a difference in value of what that property is. And if you talk to our appraisers, they're like, he looks at it as this very unique property that's worth a lot of money. And the appraisers are like, well, it's unique, which means you have a very small pool of people that either cash buy. You're not going to find a way to finance this.
Right.
Like, and then what are you going to do with it, right? So unless you want to live in a barn and spend a lot of money to buy it and then fix it up, which we know is going to be an investment, it's a very, very specific buyer. So RDC felt comfortable doing the counter offer of the higher of the two appraisals.
Did the appraiser have a comparable?
We had two very different appraisals on this, I will tell you, and both of them were, the one that was the higher appraisal did a very straightforward, like sales comp, almost a housing sales comp, which was interesting. The other appraiser hated that and let me know. This is just happens all the time with appraisers. None of them agree. He went into a more specific way of how he analyzed the property, and I don't even remember all of it now, but he was very angry about the other appraiser, which was kind of funny. But yeah, they comped them. I mean, you're welcome to see the appraisals if you'd like.
I was just interested. I wondered if they had it insured and what they insured it for as replacement value.
I have no idea.
Dr. Bernie,
so-
how do you know about the tax lien?
Oh, I did that as my business for a decade.
Oh,
I was the number 2 bidder on the round barn when I went to foreclosure. And the guy that was in
Should be
there
number 1.
ran a retail business on the first floor and a bed and breakfast on the second floor. And he lost the property because he didn't pay his Indiana income taxes or sales taxes. And Indiana Department of Revenue filed a whole bunch of liens on it. I think it's substantial, more than somewhere in mid-triple figures. And Indiana Department of Revenue plays a funny game. If you have like a federal IRS lien on a property for taxes, and it goes through foreclosure, that's wiped and the IRS is done with it. If it goes through foreclosure and Indiana Department of Revenue has tax liens on it, which they did, they just sort of shut up and wait to see who shows up with deep pockets who owns it. And then they enforce their lien on the property. And it's not necessarily found even by the best title searchers. They just come out of the woodwork at you later. It's very ruthless.
that doesn't seem fair.
So there could be a couple $100,000 in Indiana Department of Revenue tax liens on that place that
Well,
don't surface until the rich new buyer shows up.
we have some time to look into it.
Yeah.
You just have to ask them, find the right person there, and they'll go, oh, well, we can look that up. They'll tell you if you ask.
So there's not a real specific process for spending the park impact fees. So we're just looking tonight for a motion from the park board, just saying that you authorize the RDC to close on the property in the amount of $375,000 and the expenses of the process, which were quite a bit, honestly. So.
That's a good price for non-comfort road property.
You said
Felt
it's
really
like,
good about it.
like 7 acres?
No, it's like 1.9.
Oh, okay. I was like, 7 acres.
It's
I don't remember being that big.
The entire with the two properties, it's about a 4-acre park.
Okay.
So, but it's a nice piece. We're kind of targeting that building as we need to get into it and look at it, but kind of the park headquarters for the future, and make it a nice visitor center / meeting space and real visible right on 600. We think that'll be a really nice spot, and it's really pretty property.
So I'll entertain a motion if anybody wants to make one.
Okay, I can make the motion. That.
To authorize the,
Yeah.
authorize the RDC
to use park impact fees for the purchase of
do we need the
whatever
actual,
the address is.
Yeah, the address.
I was like,
Let's write this down.
I know I got it here. 6832 North 600 West. Make sure I don't get the wrong one.
375 plus expenses.
Yep.
I guess Kathleen, you're correct.
Okay.
My handwriting's terrible.
Oh, okay. I make a motion to allow our park impact fees to purchase, or is it to?
Purchase.
Yeah, purchase the property at 6832 North 600 West and plus, sorry.
For 375.
Oh, for $375,000
Plus
plus
expenses. Is that good? Got a motion? I'll take a second.
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? There's your
We'll,
motion.
we'll see. We might have to do a quick, because the RDC's buying it, I'll see how I can put the title work in. Sometimes the title company makes me close it as McCordsville Redevelopment Commission, then I quit claim deed it over to the town.
Okay.
Ultimately, it'll end up being in the town's name.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
As soon as we can get in there, we'll let you come in and tour the half renovated house.
I like to see it.
It's never just easy.
No.
Nice.
5-year master plan update?
So Deb was going to be here tonight from Cornerstone, but she had a emergency, I guess, BZA meeting come up with one of her other clients. So, but she did send me some information. So we've done the survey. It has been out since October 25th. We've had 311 responses to that so far, which actually is 100 more than we had last Monday. So we've had 100 in the last week.
Good.
So, she said the planning process is continuing with ongoing review of department programs, parks, and potential opportunities and meetings with staff. So that was kind of her update. I know she just got the GIS stuff from Ryan a couple weeks ago, so she's reviewing all that stuff and putting that together as well. So, but that was kind of just a quick little update on the 5-year master plan. So,
And when do we need to have that completed by?
not for a little while.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking. So we only have to have a draft. We don't even have to have the completed version. We have to have an approved draft to DNR to be able to apply for grants.
Right.
And I believe that's not till November of next year. So,
Okay. So we're ahead of it.
we've got
Way ahead
time.
of it.
So,
Okay, perfect.
Just a side note while we're talking about properties, we officially took ownership of the parklands in McCord Square a couple weeks back now. And so those are titled in fact, I just got the recorded documents today. So those are officially town of McCordsville properties, parks, and let you deal with them then. I'm just kidding.
that's the official. We've already
We've been
doing
kind of
stuff
taking them
there
over,
and
but
taking care
officially
of
they're
it,
in
so-
our name now.
I mean,
so
it
they're
officially
parkland.
goes against our deficit at this point for parkland and park impact fees
Correct.
and all that stuff, now that it's titled to us, so.
Correct. And we
Doesn't make a
have on the council agenda tomorrow the contract for design for the Central Green, the first part of Central
Okay.
Green, which is related to the Ready to grant funding. So we're still trudging through that process. It makes me until I get that letter from the IDC saying you're approved, I'm nervous about it. So part of the contract tomorrow is by December 1st, we have to show that we are invested in actually doing the project. So we're trying to document that as best we can.
Sounds good. 2026 meeting dates?
Yeah, so I put together meeting dates basically to match kind of what we had this year. Yep, I can bring those up, and on those, basically it just, I mean, I didn't really see any that were any conflicts with anything as far as holidays or anything like that. And they were all pretty much the exact same as what they were this year, just off a day, so. But
We need a motion to approve the schedule for 2026?
you would need a motion to approve and then second.
Go for the meeting dates?
Mhm.
I'll make a motion for the meeting dates to approve them.
Second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those are our meeting dates. Unless we run out of heat.
Unless we run out of heat. Thank you for adjusting, by the way.
As we
Yeah, of
keep
course.
moving on, there's a little discussion at the council level. It's probably too late in the year, but earlier in the year, we're going to revisit our entire meeting calendar to try to clean it up a little bit. There's some things that don't make sense and conflicts that keep coming up. And then as we get busier, we'll continue to revisit if bi-monthly or if there's a point where we have to go to a monthly meeting, we'll have that discussion as well,
Yeah,
but
that's
probably not
understandable.
till 27.
I wondered if you could hit the high points of the discrepancy in the legal description on Old School Park between when we got it and the Burn Township trustee had it.
Yeah, so as we're designing the do you even know about this?
No, it was
Great.
first time hearing it.
Ryan and I are handling this one. So as we were doing the design for the 750 roundabout, 750 and 600, and we were doing the right-of-way acquisition documentation, it was discovered that when the township deeded us the park, they attached the wrong legal description. So they only deeded us right away from the county that the county owned at that time. So we technically, it shows up in GIS that we own it. Nobody knew the difference, but we technically don't actually own Old School Park right now. So it is a Scribner's error. We have reached out to the township. Their attorney is fixing it through a fairly simple legal process, and we will refile it. So it's good that it came up, and it was just it was a legal description error. It was just the wrong legal description. And nobody, if you've ever read a legal description, unless you go trace it yourself,
Yeah,
you're
well,
assuming they got it
Does
right.
anybody draw them out before we approve them?
Well, like I just we're getting the right of way deeded to us from 6 and 6, and I had Mark review it, and he said it looked
Right,
accurate.
like
So.
say this parcel next to the round barn turns out to have a legal description error. It might not be so routine as just correcting a Scribner's error if somebody objects later. So
Ye-
does anybody draw them? Like,
Well, that's why we have the
you get the
survey.
shape of a parcel and then it has to close on CAD.
Yeah, I mean that's what part of what we paid for in the survey was for updated legal descriptions on it. So.
Are you tracking with what I mean?
Yeah, I don't have any way to do
You draw
that.
the legal on CAD and you get a picture of the parcel, and it makes geographic sense as to the shape of the parcel that you know, and it has boundary links on it. And when you go around and you come back to the beginning, the points have to
Mhm.
exactly close on the drawing. That's how you check a legal. And are we checking our legals that way is what I'm asking.
We are not. No.
Oh, we need to. We
Who
have
would do
software.
that?
Huh?
Who would do that?
Oh, anybody can use CAD can do it. I can do it, but
I don't
I'm
know.
not like on the food chain to do it, but
Mhm.
it's just a simple CAD drawing. Anybody that can use CAD can do it. And it's a picture, and if it's a square or a rectangle, no big deal, but if it's got
Mhm.
like 13 boundaries going this way and that way,
Yeah, we've had some wild ones.
about 30% of the ones I drew out did not close, and the legal was in error. Usually there's no consequence, but there can be a huge dispute sometimes. It's not always just like, we'll just correct this typo.
Well, and in this particular case, there should have been two legal descriptions. There should have been the right-of-way legal description and the actual park legal description. So, luckily, it's the same attorney, and so he's realized the error and he's fixing it for us. Then we'll have to refile and re-record. So,
Yeah, usually those things are just attached to whatever contract, and everybody goes, oh, it's illegal, I'm not gonna read it.
yeah.
Because it's like 5 degrees, 49 seconds west of the southwest line is in a quarter of Vernon
Exactly.
Township. Tract 8 or whatever, you know.
Yep.
So you gotta,
Well, that kind of happened on this property that we missed that sliver parcel that was the survey error. And typically there's like a negotiation on that, but Hampton Walk just deeded it to the northern properties or to the southern properties and just said, here, you can have this. So, so it's not on our survey right now, but we have a parcel number to it. So.
we could contract to have it done with like, what's our backup engineering firm? I forget, we send them a huge check every month.
We have various ones. I'm not sure which ones are the on-call, A&F maybe. So,
Yeah, it'd be, you know, probably $80 or something to do it.
mhm.
I'm assuming no public comment tonight since there's no public. Our next meeting that we just approved, January 12th, 2026, 6 p.m. Any other comments? Are we good? Take a motion to adjourn.